What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I wanted to start doing some videos showing off some of my memorabilia slash autograph collection that I have. And one of my favorite franchises, one of my favorite films, or favorite film of all time is Scream. I have a project that I'm working on, been working on for a little bit right now, where basically I'm trying to get all the people that played Ghostface, or at least killed someone in a Ghostface costume, to sign a mask and put that in the collection. And so I'm going to go through and show you guys the ones that I have so far. I don't know if this is something that I'm going to ever fully complete, because Timothy Olyphant, I don't know if he's ever done any kind of conventions or private signings that I'm aware of. And where I'm located, it's not like I'm in New York City or Los Angeles, so don't know if I'll ever run into him necessarily. But we'll see. Maybe down the line he'll do something. And the other person is Emma Roberts. Again, as far as I know, hasn't done a convention, doesn't do signings that I've come across. So hopefully maybe one day both of them will, so I can complete this collection. But otherwise, I'm going to show you guys what I have so far. Real quick though, before we jump into the video, if you guys are new to the channel and like seeing content like this and are interested in seeing more, like I said, I think I'm going to do some more videos like this in the future. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell button next to it. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. Give this video a thumbs up. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about some Scream Mask. Alright guys, so and I'm not going to do this in any particular order. I'm not going to go from, which I probably should have, but I'm not going to go from necessarily the first Scream, go to Scream 6. I'm just going to go through kind of how I pull them out. Now this first one, so this is signed by Mikey Madison, who plays Amber in Scream 5. I was really excited to get this one in. Initially, I actually had one that she had put an inscription on the top going across the forehead. That's what I ideally want to do with all my masks, and you'll see with some of the other ones that I had that on there, except for, I believe, 2 of them, if I remember correctly. So this one, because originally the one that I got when it came in, this was from a private signing, and the guys who did the signing were great. They ended up sending me this to replace the original one, but the signature down here with the paint pen just came out a little smudged. So I asked if there was any way that I could get, either a replacement or something, and they sent me this one. It just didn't have the thing on top. So a little disappointed about that, but I am glad that I at least got her signature on here, especially where she's up potentially going to win an Oscar with Nora. And I really liked her character. So this is the one from Mikey Madison, and it's on the... I'm not a huge fan, and they just recently started putting the older versions of the Scream mask. Now guys, I am not a expert when it comes to the different versions of the mask, so please, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but these new ones, they're very white and like a hard plastic, where the other one that I'll show you that I got for Stu, it came out this year, but I remember those being in stores years ago, and they kind of have like a vanilla smell to them, and they're a little bit grayer, they're not quite as white, so I kind of wish I could have got those instead, but it's fine. I'm just happy I got it on the mask regardless. All right, up next we have Melissa Barrera. So, and this is why I mentioned in the intro that it was people that have killed in a Ghostface mask, because obviously she is in Ghostface. At least she wasn't up to the point where we saw her in Part 6. Who knows where they were going to go originally with Part 7. But I wanted to get this one where she did have the mask on and killed, at the end of Part 6. So, disappointed I haven't met her in person. Again, this is a private signing. But up here, see if I can show it to you guys. On the forehead, I have it going across. It says, "There is a darkness inside of me." I have been doing quotes. It's kind of become more commonplace now, but I've been doing quotes on posters, on photos, and different things like that for years now. Usually when you go to conventions, it used to be that a lot of times you can get them for free. But now, especially if you do a private signing, in most cases, you do have to pay for the quote, the character name, etc. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. Up next, we have Rory Culkin, who plays Charlie in Scream 4. And on the top of the forehead, it says, "Kirby, this is making a move." This is a private signing. I believe this was from Dark Parlor Originals, if I remember correctly. Oh, yeah, especially for some of the newer casts, or say Scream 4 isn't new, it came out a while ago. But for some of the casts that haven't done signings, they've been starting to do them more often. They haven't been in my area, which sucks because I want to meet them in person. But anytime I see a new one pop up, I usually try and jump on it because you just never know with some of these people. If they might be a one and done, or it might be a while before they do a signing again. So I got that one from part 4. And then we got, and I'm probably going to say her last name wrong, Liana Liberato, who plays Quinn in Scream 6. Had her sign the aged Ghostface mask. I love this mask. One of my favorites in the franchise for sure. So instead of the forehead, she wrote down here. And the only thing I'm thinking is that because of the way the forehead is, where it's all cracked and everything, probably could have done it in a black, because that's what I've been having him do, but maybe just didn't feel like dealing with all the cracks and stuff like that. So she signed on the mouth, and it says, "You didn't see that one coming, did you?" And then has her signature and character name. So I am happy with that, how that turned out, because it does really pop in the black of the mouth area right there. So that is Quinn's. This one, and I also, you notice the other mask, I still have the tag on it. This was the first mask that I did this for, and then afterwards I was like, I kind of changed up what I'm going to do, so I'm probably going to get this redone. I might actually sell this, at some point to someone. I guess I'll probably just have it redone with keeping the tag on, having the quote and everything, because this is Skeet Ulrich, and it just has a Billy Loomis down on the bottom of the mask. I don't have any quote or anything on the top there, so what I think I'm going to do, like I said, is get a quote done like I have for the other ones now. And yeah, I'll just get this, redone. And hopefully, I actually saw it at a store that I can get it with the older, version of the Scream mask too. Because again, this is on that bright white hard plastic, and I'm just not as big of a fan of these ones. Up next, we have Matthew Lillard. Oh, and by the way, the Skeet Ulrich one, that one was done in person at a con. This one was done as well. It is Matthew Lillard. Guy is one of the coolest guys that you can meet at a convention. If you guys haven't had the chance, highly recommend it. I've met him a couple times now, but his lines are always insane. People love him. So, I mean, that's why he has these huge lines. He takes time out, talks to people. So if you are going to meet him, I advise, if you're going for multiple days, go on a Friday when usually the crowds are not as bad, and just get in his line first. Knock it out, because his lines are always insane. But anyways, so as far as his mask goes, on the top, I had him put, "It's a Scream baby." And he put Stu up there. I didn't ask him to, but he just did it anyways, which is fine. And then down here, he put Matthew Lillard, put Stu, and he put a little heart, which I thought was funny. But yeah, so this is the one that smells like vanilla. I love that. Great plastic smell. But yeah, I really prefer these masks over the newer versions of the Ghostface mask. So I'm hoping I can get some more of these for the killers from the older, films. All right, and finally, the last one we have is Laurie Metcalf, who plays Mrs. Loomis. So this one's really cool. I got a pretty good-sized quote on this one. Or it just looks bigger because she also has her name, right on the bottom. But on the forehead, you'll see, "You killed my son, now I kill you." It has Mrs. Loomis up there. And then down below on the mask itself, you have the signature, and then Mrs. Loomis right there. So the only thing with this mask that I was a little disappointed, this was a private signing from one of the companies that I ordered from, and the L on Loomis, just the Sharpie or the paint pen or whatever, just ran out a little bit on the L. So maybe if I see her in person, she was supposed to be at Rhode Island this past year, but she ended up having to cancel, which sucked. But if I see her, maybe I'll just have her try to correct that. I might not, though, because I know you're not supposed to really go over signatures or anything like that. So if anything, maybe I'll just get another one done and again sell this for like a little bit of a discounted rate. But yeah, that is my collection, guys. So this is a fun little project that I recently started doing. At some point, I want to maybe get them all up on a shelf or multiple shelves and kind of have a shrine, similar to what they have in Part 6. I feel like I'm going to be able to get pretty much everybody except for those two. Although, and I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head, but the guy who plays Roman in Part 3, he's someone else that at least in my area, I'm in the Northeast, I haven't seen him do any conventions, and I haven't seen a private signing for him too, so hopefully that's something that won't be too much of a challenge. But otherwise, everyone else, I got to get Roger Jackson. I have him on multiple other Scream projects that I have, but I don't have him on a mask. Even though he wasn't in the costume, he's the voice of Ghostface, so I got to get him at some point. And I know there's several of people that are going to be coming up to 90s Con that's coming here in Connecticut in March, so get a couple more there. But yeah, it's just a fun little project. It's my favorite film franchise, and so I'm curious, do you guys have for any autograph collectors out there, do you guys have projects that you're currently working on, whether it be a poster that you're trying to get signed from a cast, or whether it's maybe different masks? I know some people do the Michael Myers mask, things like that. I'm really curious, and like I said, I think this is going to be something almost kind of like a new series that I'm going to do, because I haven't posted as many of these videos on here. I really got to start doing that more this year. I'm going to try to do that. Would you guys be interested in seeing more memorabilia videos posted, as well as when I go to cons, maybe just like my hauls that I get from the cons? Is that something that you'd be interested in? Definitely let me know down below in the comments. And if you guys have pieces or collections yourself, let me know what those are, because I'm really just curious as a fellow collector. So let me know down below in the comments. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well as the bell button next to it. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. Give this video a thumbs up. And as always, guys, please make sure to check back for more Pop Culture with Pat.